Are you aware that some of the biggest names in the retail industry are announcing widespread store closings? Last week, Walmart joined the list, announcing that it will shut down all of its stores in Portland as the company has started to close multiple locations in several states, eliminating thousands of jobs and leaving communities it's served for years. A massive wave of store shutdowns is taking place all over the United States right now as businesses' financial losses continue to rise. In today's video, we will expose why this accelerating trend is actually part of something bigger than people realize. But before moving on, we kindly ask you to support our work with a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By the end of this month, Portland residents won't be able to visit their local Walmart stores anymore. Late last week, the big box retailer announced it will close all of its stores in the city, noting that the closings have been conducted because the locations were not meeting the company's financial expectations. The truth is that with more than 641,000 people living in the Portland area, there is a lot of money to be made in the city. However, still, the U.S.'s biggest retailer has decided to wave the white flag because conditions are getting progressively worse there. On Friday, a spokesperson with Walmart used very careful language to explain why there will be mass shutdowns, saying the decision to close these stores was made after a careful review of their overall performance. We consider many factors, including current and projecting good financial performance, location population, customer needs, and the proximity of other nearby stores when making these difficult decisions. After we decided to move forward, our focus is on our associates and their transition, which is the case here, the spokesperson said. But this isn't the whole story. Many people have questioned if the decision came about as a result of rampant shoplifting. Portland has seen a massive increase in the rate of serious offenses, theft, and depredation of local businesses, and Walmart hasn't been immune to that. One customer that was interviewed about the store closings addressed the real reason why the mega retailer is leaving. "We've got to resolve the shoplifting one way or another," she said, addressing the topic of retail theft at the city's locations, because that is simply the problem. It's got to stop. A few months ago, CEO Doug McMillon warned that the retail chain would close stores and hike prices due to historically high rates of theft at its locations. Theft is an issue. It's higher than what it has historically been, McMillon stressed. He added that prices will be higher and stores will close because authorities don't crack down on prosecuting shoplifters. Since the top executive made those comments, thousands of Walmart shoppers and former and current employees have taken to social media to report what they're seeing at their local stores. They need to hire cashiers again and do away with so many self-checkouts, said customer Mindy Stanley in an interview with Business Insider. "I say they're losing so much due to that." According to Reuters estimates, the world's largest retailer is likely losing about 1% in U.S. revenue, or roughly $3 billion every year, to customer and employee theft. A Walmart employee who spoke on condition of anonymity for fear of retaliation revealed that her store was down to 6 staff-operated registers a few months back, with the rest of the machines being self-checked out. "Theft is horrible at my store," the employee said. "If corporates actually visited at the store level and spoke with actual employees that deal with the theft, they might see how to fix the problem. They're converting stores to more self-checkouts with fewer employees. Self-checkout is where most of the theft happens." The source exposed people who live near the stores that are closing, emphasized that the closure is going to have a big impact on them and low-income shoppers. "Safeway is the go-to store if I have to, but that's 3 times the price I would spend at Walmart," Amanda Paul said. "What are we going to do? You're going to go further than you have to? Spend gas money? Might as well pay for it at Safeway at this point." The stores that are about to go dark have become a staple in the retail habits of so many. At least 580 jobs will be lost as Walmart is set to close its 30 stores in Portland. The company will provide severance pay to eligible employees and will try to find them jobs in nearby stores where possible. But the truth is, Walmart's decision to close down its stores in Portland is just the tip of the iceberg. A massive wave of store shutdowns is taking place all over the United States right now as businesses' financial losses continue to rise. Experts are warning that this accelerating trend is actually part of something bigger than people realize. The COVID-19 pandemic has been devastating for many businesses, but it has also exposed long-standing weaknesses in the U.S. economy. For years, small businesses have been struggling to compete with large corporations like Walmart, which can afford to offer lower prices and better benefits to their employees. At the same time, the rise of e-commerce has made it easier than ever for consumers to shop online, which has put further pressure on brick-and-mortar stores. As a result, many businesses have been forced to close their doors for good, and countless others are struggling to stay afloat. Did you know that the top 1% of the world's richest individuals hold more wealth than the bottom 50%? Yes, you heard that right. This staggering statistic is a clear indication of the wealth inequality that plagues our world. Moving on to our next topic, we have an exclusive interview with a world-renowned expert who will discuss the ongoing economic crisis and its long-term implications. Stay tuned for an in-depth analysis that will shed light on the current situation. Now, let's talk about Amazon's recent decision to shut down its Go convenience stores. This move comes as part of a larger effort to cut costs and reduce its physical footprint. By April 1st, all contracts with employees will be terminated and shutdowns will take place. Amazon's CEO, Andy Jassy, highlighted the company's efforts to curtail expenses in its grocery unit and elsewhere as it grapples with slowing sales and an unclear economic outlook. In fact, in January, the company announced that it would lay off up to 18,000 employees, and some of the effects were already felt in its grocery business. Amazon has also shared warehouse and retail space in recent months, and more job cuts are expected for 2023 as the retail apocalypse intensifies. The retail apocalypse isn't just affecting big cities. The deterioration of our society is evident, as noted by Egan von Graves. The United States has been in the process of self-destruction for a very long time, and the final stages of major economic cycles are always accompanied by bad news and heinous events. As the decline of our society accelerates, the next phase of 5 to 10 years will include major political, social, economic, as well as wealth destruction. It's a warning sign that we should take seriously. Right now, the United States is on the verge of a total and complete economic and financial collapse. While our leaders continue to escalate global conflicts due to corruption and greed, our foundations could be destroyed faster than most people think. Empires seldom die overnight, so this process, which started in 1971, could take another 5 to 10 years. But since we are now in the final stages, it could also happen suddenly. The financial expert predicts that the country's debts and deficits have increased exponentially. In fact, data released by the Federal Reserve shows that since 1981, our debt load has doubled every 8 years. Our country is going bankrupt, and tax revenues are falling precipitously, while expenditure is exploding as the value of the dollar collapses. We will see Social Security running dry, 401k plans being wiped out, and pension fund assets imploding. Both private and public debts are about to hit the $2 quadrillion mark, and this will certainly break our economy and ravage financial markets. All asset bubbles, including stocks, bonds, and properties, which have been held up by fake money, will collapse by 75 to 95% in real terms. Meanwhile, banks and financial institutions are starting to fail, even after having received hundreds of trillions of dollars printed, thus worthless government support. With high inflation and the threat of hyperinflation, interest rates are going up to at least 20% or probably much higher. Financing a debt in the quadrillions at 20+ will, of course, lead to even more money printing. The Fed and other central banks will clearly lose control of interest rates, which will be determined by a market in panic. All of this indicates we're now moving towards troubled times, and unfortunately, von Graves' predictions seem right on target. If we stay on this self-destructive path, the consequences are going to be downright terrifying, and our population has no idea how messed up the state of our economy really is. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are steps we can take to try to turn this around. First, we need to acknowledge that we have a problem. We need to stop burying our heads in the sand and pretending that everything is okay. It's not. We need to start having honest conversations about the state of our economy and the direction we're headed. Second, we need to elect leaders who will prioritize the long-term health of our economy over short-term gains. We need leaders who will take a hard look at our spending and make tough decisions about where to cut back. We need leaders who will invest in infrastructure and education, which are crucial for long-term economic growth. Finally, we need to start thinking about our own financial futures. We can't rely on the government to fix everything for us. We need to take control of our own finances and start making smart investments. We need to prioritize saving over spending and start thinking about our retirement. It's not going to be easy, but we can turn this around. We've faced tough times before, and we've come out the other side stronger. But it's going to take all of us working together to make it happen. So let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time,